Well, how's it going, Kingsmen? Welcome back to the Napoleonic Total War 3 battlefield. Today we are playing watching a Russia 5 map and watching some corps, the 1812 and 1805 corps, fight it out. Fight it out on Russia. Now, there is a interesting twist here on the Imperial side because you do have a Prussia. That's right. You heard me correct. The totem comps? It was like totem comps. But looks like Prussia is on the French side. What a betrayal. The Austrians must be feeling, being like, oh, Prussia, what are you doing? And Prussia's like, ha, sucker. No, I was kidding. Anyway, let's check it out, the Austrian corps. We're seeing a lot of Austrian plays recently, and I'm actually kind of enjoying it. Of course, we do have some Russia here as well. So we have a 10-point Bellegarde, a 8-point Mac, a 7 or 12-point, not going to try to pronounce that, and a 7-point Bagration. So, looks like the 12-pointer may be huge. I mean, they have a lot of troops. Now, of course, also the 8-pointer has a massive army, and also looks like we may have some cavalry pushing the Austrians back in the town. That's kind of a very strong point here. But if you can see on the map, there's a nice little road that, of course, the Austrians are rolling up here, right here. They're rolling up here in the nice little crossroads. LOCs on the left side of the map. There's two pointers on each side. So usually these 1-pointers are probably the most important. Whoever gets to these 1-pointers usually can hold the LOC advantage. And, I mean, there's a nice little road in between them. However, there is a lot of terrain that really favors the Imperials if they can get to it. And if you're on the Imperial side, this is usually where you want to push. You want to take this high ground. Even taking up here in the wooded area, of course, it is a little more, you have a little more cautious with that wooded area. It does look like you may have some cavalry engaging, though. Looks like France is trying to push back any Austrian grenadiers. And yep, we have a couple clashes. Those cavalry taking on chevaliers. The totem comp's definitely gonna... Ooh. Alright, well, we're definitely getting a huge clash here. Both sides not wanting to give up the center point. Dragoons from Austria getting broken by some cavalry of France. Things not looking too good yet for the Austrians, as France definitely seems to be asserting quite a bit of cav positioning. Now, they do have squares, so let's see what France ends up doing. You can see we got some, Oh man, Austria definitely is getting taken advantage of a little bit with not enough cav. This Austria is getting slammed into, and you see his general actually is going to get caught out, as well as artillery. This is going to be a huge loss, and now Russia is trying to get over here and help him out, but it's over. The general is going to be killed. Yeah, there's no way this general is not going to be killed. And there he goes. So unfortunately, Austria just got swamped. Now, he did take this LOC, but with no artillery and no general, it is definitely going to be a tough fight for them. Now, you can see, oh man, these dragoons are getting surrounded. But here comes some Ulani, some lancers in from Russia to save the day, or at least attempt to. Maybe they can slice out a chunk of the cavalry. Although, actually, I think they're reconsidering that now and running away, but they may get caught out by the French, as France is just throwing their weight around with the cavalry. Yeah, these lancers are getting away. This French cav is definitely exhausted. And now the rest of the oh no, more artillery could be broken. I hope Austria notices this. It's not hidden. This cav, I'd be pushing it up. We'll see. They also don't want to lose all their cav to a massive flank. But still a disastrous beginning for the coalition. The 10-pointer losing artillery and a general. All the artillery being killed. The general, I mean, he's around here. I think that's him right there. Yep, there's the general dead on the battlefield. So early on. But do not be dismayed, guys. This is a very, very good fight. So I'm not worried yet. I'm not worried yet. I'm excited to see this one. Looked like there were some good kills on both sides, and a very close match. So we will just let things play out. Obviously, with the maybe the Russians will get a lightning fast counter attack. You get some. Ooh, we got some dragoons charging in. Oh, the Swiss cavalry getting ambushed. More reinforcing cavalry. Ooh, what? They have... Oh, wow. Cuirassiers. I'm still very interested to see. Okay, so we do have Mac, who has taken this 1 pointer here on the left side. He's going to have to watch it, of course, for this terrain, this hill here. As the French could try advancing along it. I've seen it happen before. A massive army just pushes through and slams into the flank. Obviously, I think he's going to be okay. He has a lot of artillery that is ready, poised to set up. Usually good artillery position right here. The tree line, hill, you know, they can set up kind of an angle. Oh my goodness, we have more and more cav, maybe? No, we don't. Or do we? No, those Swiss finally did break. Cuirassiers, though, pushing up. Russia is still pushing. You know, I was saying before, Russia, this 12-pointer, has a lot of troops on the field here. A lot of just musketeers. I'm looking to see if they have any guard. I know I saw a grenadier. Yeah, grenadier. Horse artillery already firing, and I believe I saw more horse artillery over here. Yep, another 2-gun. Russia will be a force to be reckoned with. They will be deadly and dangerous. Now we do have Prussia advancing here. And this is going to become a personal fight because of them being allies before. You know, that would be insult to injury. I do hear more troops marching over here, some skirmishers firing, so Mac is going to be being engaged. At the same time, Bellegarde is. Oh my goodness, Austria getting chopped up, but nice counter volleys here on the flank. Gonna force the Prussians to fall back a little bit. And you can see Austria has pushed up their lines all the way to these buildings. We have some skirmishers. I think got a little too close, maybe. Some more Swiss. I love seeing that. But look at this. It's this huge flank. I mean, hopefully, I'd love to see if they, like, you know, the French push in. You can see Prussia is already pushing. Prussia pushes in, and then Russia goes for a huge flank and slams in here. That'd be amazing to see. But for now, it's such a weird thing to see Prussia and Austria fighting each other. It's not something we see every day. Artillery is setting up beautiful positioning, if I might say so. This is going to start helping a ton. Look at the angle they'll have on the Prussian line. It'll be firing right over their allies' heads and hitting the Prussian lines. Oh, we have a cav charge going in against the Russian line infantry. And Cuirassiers potentially coming in as well. Now, I think they're going to charge this and forget that these guys can form square. It will still hurt a lot. Although, I'm pretty sure the whole purpose of a square is that cavalry won't charge headlong into to a solid mass of men. It's just not in their nature. But here we go. We have a French advance now pushing forward here. Well, along the whole line almost. Oh, there's so much Swiss. I love it. Russia's reforming their lines, preparing to take this assault. As you can see, a French push all along the board. And Austria is falling back. I don't think they were liking this whole fight with Prussia. Without artillery support, it does seem a little daunting. I'm surprised Mac hasn't shifted over anything. They have cuirassiers too. Something to break Prussia. I would start focusing on Prussia. Now, where's the other Austria-Russia? That is the question. Where are they? Or are they both here? Am I missing something? There's a whole faction that's not here. Where is it? Oh, it's a bunch of okay. So this 7-pointer is almost all cavalry and artillery. Of course, they have 1 or 2 infantry. They went like a cav corps. I was like, wait, I could have sworn I was going to see more infantry. But they are just kind of staying on the flank, covering. He's going to do damage he can. 12-pointer has plenty of infantry. Oh my goodness, though. Look at all the French pushing forward. Especially all the Swiss. Now, there's not a whole lot happening here still. I'm sure Mac even could shift over more troops to hold this entire side. Although he's actually shifting over to help support the 10-pointer. He's getting pushed pretty hard. Now, they do have some reserves. He has the LSC he could always fall back to. That's a good thing. But we have Cav movement here. And these guys may go straight into a square. And that was a well-placed square. Oh my goodness, no. This is not looking good. They finally chose, although they're getting shot up, and some cavalry now is going to charge in, countercharge, so keeping that square up. They can fire directly on the flank. More actually cav now charging in against maybe the Swiss as well. Over on this side, look how close the Russians and Swiss are to each other. It's unreal. Beautiful artillery volleys. I don't know if you saw that. Artillery, though, blasting away here at this cavalry. Russia looking a little worse for wear here, but they have at least a flank, some grenadiers who are going to charge in now. Oh, 2 sets of grenadiers charging in. France, though, trying to rush in cavalry, go for that artillery piece. Oh my gosh, they got an artillery shot off. I mean, they're probably still going to die, but still, they plastered that French cav. And now there's some fight between the grenadiers and Swiss infantry as France is constantly still pushing. Cavalry in the back lines, though. France is going to try to wreak as much havoc as possible. Nothing else happening anywhere else. Yeah, this French cav is going to start back charging now. This is going to get a little messy. Thankfully, but Bagration is here to save. Nice back charge to save some of that line. And now he can carry on and hit more French cavalry. You see the general pushing up as well, though. They may actually pull back. Russia is... This is why you have reserves, guys. Look at these reserves. They're able to peel off, form up another defensive line as France starts advancing. Austria even has some troops now peeling onto this flank. This can force France into a bit of a pickle here. This line fight is doing quite well. In fact, they seem to have been able to force back the French. There's more heavy cav, though, that's going to start pushing up to the front lines. And France has definitely pushed forward. However, there is one problem I think they're going to run into is they are fighting. They're going to start fighting on 2 fronts, and with Russian reinforcements, look at this. Russian reinforcements pushing forward. They're going to get right into this with some cav support as well. This push has bloodied the French quite a bit. You can see they actually were getting pretty torn up. Oh my gosh, they got torn up here. They got torn up here. I think Russia did too, but Russia seems to be more stubbornly holding their ground. Russia is still constantly pushing forward here. Is there another French army just sitting in the tree line? I'm really confused. Maybe it's a French reserve army. I don't know. Oh, we have a potential gen snipe here. Austria, though, has a bit of a flank as there are... Yep, there's some French troops here. Here we go. I think Russia is going to be able to manage now to push out, make a kind of a counterattack of some sort, as France is falling back to their gun positions. And those artillery positions hopefully are going to help them kind of keep the course, be a little more defensive. Uh-oh, they're not firing. Oh, they need to not give fire orders. They need to click right behind a unit. Alright, looks like over here, Austria is getting smacked around by infantry and cavalry. More specifically, the Carabiniers from France, who have pushed up with infantry support. You see this poor Grenadier square, they're probably going to break just some volleys unless they get themselves out of there quickly. France is ready to just shoot the heck out of them. And here we go, more cav going to start rushing in. You see Austria readjusting their lines. France is going to send in dragoons. They do form a square, though. Still, though, this Austria is not looking like he's doing an amazing fight here. They are definitely losing against Prussia. It is going to be up to this Russia to make a move. And what a gorgeous looking fight we have going on. We have horse artillery setting up over there. You see the flank, more cavalry running around. France trying to react to that. Now, Russia's got this in the bag, in my opinion. They have cavalry support and infantry support. It's up to Austria to hold. Now, things are not looking too good for them. Some French cav in the back lines. Trying to go for that artillery piece. Another Austrian general. Man, both of the Austrian generals have been killed now. And you see this French cav in the back lines. Austria is not doing as well as Russia is. You can see, oh no. The artillery. France is really trying to get rid of those guns, and Austria is falling back in disarray. But here we go. Matt can start counterattacking a little bit, but he needs to not get swept away. I mean, Austria can still hold this, guys. They can still pull back towards the LOC and hold. Russia's out shooting them, but with some... I mean, this is two armies kind of making their push here. These crosshairs need to get out of there. These squares are going to get formed. It's just going to be a mess. You just see Austria is just not really winning as well as Russia is. Russia is just a little bit more coordinated at this point in time. That's cool. That's very cool. Alright, so with their artillery battery gone, what in the world keeps happening here? Oh my goodness! The back charges by the cav. It is just mass routing this Austrian army. What happened? What was this? Some Carabiniers. That's what happened. Carabiniers charging in. With some French cav running through a square trying to catch some of this other cavalry or this other infantry. Austria is just, oh man, Austria is just getting pretty badly beaten. This is not going too well for Austria. However, it's not a total loss because they are still holding for now. Russia is pushing. France is going to be forced to fall back, which means with France falling back more and more, Russia is going to get an opportunity to start flanking this Prussian army. Oh, one or two well-placed bayonet charges would be enough to smash through this army. Even with some of these grenadiers poised and ready, charging in from two directions, I guarantee you they can make some big plays. This is a very awkward formation that the coalition, not the coalition, the Imperials are being stuck into. You still have French pushing very aggressively. I'm surprised. They should be peeling off forces to go and help their ally at this point. Austria is dead. Leave part of your army to deal with the rest of them, and tell Prussia to deal with this Austria, and push. Push your reinforcements over here. They're needed desperately. Russia is doing an amazing job of just like slicing up and dicing up this French army. I mean, France has reserves. You see their artillery is going to be setting up. Did they charge? They did not. But you can see they have a nice flank on Prussia. Prussia is actually having decreased fire now that they're having to shift over to deal with Russia. They probably, if I was in the Imperial side right now, I would pull this whole side back. I would pull this back to this hill and have this right flank swing around and hit them hard. Have Prussia hit this as well in France, maybe swing and hit this flank with some cavalry support. So maybe like one of these cav units to support against Austria. With the French infantry, it'd be perfect. That's the only thing you're going to win. You're not going to win this flank here. Russia is outgunning you, and Prussia seems to be very, very determined to hold this kind of awkward-looking position. I mean, it's not the worst position in the world, don't get me wrong. Also, love the Prussians with the black uniforms. This always looks so good. Just very nice. Oh, the cavalry. And now that is where I would say Russia and Austria should coordinate together here. They did charge in the 12 points dragoons. Now they're going to pull them back. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Do they not realize there is Austrians hiding around this corner? Wait, why aren't they shooting? I'm still trying to figure out what's happening here. We have a French army. Okay, so Austria is still very much alive over here. He's recovered. If I was him, like he's gonna probably rest him half his army. The other half is gonna hopefully be able to push up, start putting some pressure on the French. Still not a ton happening. The center line is just constantly pushing forward here. Yeah, the French holding their line with the Swiss. Alright, so we have more Prussians now shifting over here. Maybe they are thinking, hey, get the good shooters to come over here and help against Russia so we can just outshoot them and let the French go for the melee over here. But like I said, guys, there's so many Austrians left. France was not able to run them down. And you can see even over here, Mack is holding quite well. He has cav support. And he's going to be able to outshoot this. I think he should easily outshoot this French army. Over here, they're holding the line quite well. In fact, they're even going to start putting pressure on, like I said, just another way to describe it, this weird formation here. I don't know why they're holding this flank so desperately, but they should pull back. I mean, if Austria moves lightning fast, maybe even get some cavalry over here, they could charge in and just rout this whole corner. This artillery maybe is why they haven't fallen back. They don't want to lose it. But you're going to lose all your infantry instead. But I like how this fight's been a lot more, it's been melee, it's been everything. It's been some shooting, obviously a lot of shooting at this moment. And Russia's actually shooting quite quickly. I'm actually rather surprised. I don't know the stats on this 12-pointer, but they are shooting fast. Look at how fast these guys are. Just like, man. Oh, we have that bayonet charge going in. Prussia wasn't ready. And now the Grenadiers are going to go in with a coordinated Russian assault. Oh my goodness, this is huge. This is a huge play. This is what I was extremely worried about. Oh man, and here goes the mass rout, or at least it's starting. With more and more French and Prussians starting to break. Russia's now going to start pushing on this flank. More Grenadiers. Oh man, they're going right in. France is in trouble. In huge trouble. Now Prussia is managing to hold decently well, and I will say this, props to both sides. There's no blobbing in this, actually. I was watching it very closely. No blobbing. Those guys coordinated it quite well. And both sides seem to take... Ooh. Well, I thought, though, we got a cav charge. And unfortunately, they hit a square. A huge fight in the back lines, though. More and more cavalry engaging. Looks like Prussia's general is finally been killed. And Bagration is taking a massive cav fight. But as you can see, with that steady pressure, unfortunately, I think Coalition are actually making a comeback. Quite significant comeback. Now, cavalry back lines, it's a little messy. We have artillery, hopefully, that will support this cav engagement. Bagration seems to be actually winning this now with the infantry support. That's not even a squareable. But it is really helping in this engagement here. And Prussia needed to reform their lines. He's got this whole reserve he hasn't even dealt with. He's kind of looking a little messy right now. And I think, like I said before, yep, definitely going to be a victory. Now, there's an entire French army over here. But Austria seems to be doing okay. They have their squares on the side. Like I said, they have that cav to protect their own flank or rear. France is probably not going to quite easily break them. In fact, well, I wouldn't charge because you're just going to exhaust them. But, they're scaring them off. That's probably what that was. They are starting to win this fight against France. And even if they lose, they will have taken out a huge chunk of the French troops. So I wouldn't be too worried about it. You can see Russia now in the thick of the back lines. Prussia's mass routing here. It almost feels like if Prussia went AFK for a second. And the problem I think that the Imperial ran up against was they just hit every square. Every charge I saw them hit, except for one, was against a square. They literally went against squares of Russia every time, and it's not like Russia usually has tons of squares. So even I would be probably thrown off by that and just be flummoxed. Be like, why is Russia squaring every time I charge? Well, it does look like we may have the beginning of the end for Mac. Forward square. Yeah. Yeah, Mac's gonna die. That's okay. He's delaying the very important French army. I think France had a huge disadvantage just because they have allies or an army that peeled off over here. I don't know where all the other... So it was 1 Prussia and 3 French armies. Obviously, I think there was at least 1 or 2 French armies over here, right? Unless one of them broke. Unless one of them's a Cav Corps. Maybe one of them's a Cav Corps. think one of them was like a France Württemberg. But, yep, now the only fighting that's really happening now is here, where France is just, unfortunately, just getting chased down and killed by the French, who are looking to get just the little bit of redemption. But there's 26 minutes remaining in this, and we do have, here's the other French army set up right here. However, even Bellegarde is pushing out his troops. The artillery was not dead, so it's going to come back and start pouring in fire. This is swung hugely in favor. I apologize. I know there was probably some cav play that happened over here. Yeah, there was definitely some cav play that happened over here. Unfortunately, when that was happening, when everything else was happening, and you can see where the Russian lines were. Here, here, and then of course the French lines. I'm still a little surprised about this whole fight. I really think that the Prussians and French should have not stayed here, because obviously, I mean, look at the slaughter. Just so many died. I mean, I see a lot of dead Austrians too. But that being said, now we have France is definitely going to close in here, and Mac is going to be killed, unfortunately. I'd actually say these crosshairs and charge the infantry. Go out with a bang, you know. I do miss being able to play the Swiss. You know, the Swiss and the custom armies. It was a ton of fun to play as them in the past. You could bring some very large and very small units, but the infantry was just nice, you know. And this is a retreating kind of a battle. See, one side stops and fires. This is what I've done before. You have one unit that stays and shoots, and then another one stops here, and then this one pulls back, and this one shoots, and this one pulls back there. You just like stagger it, you know? So someone's always firing. Especially if they don't have cav, it's a really nice strategy, because you will keep causing them, especially if they're really pushing you really hard and trying to get free kills. That way you're not giving them all free kills, you're returning fire while still falling back. It is definitely a little slower. This Russia is just having a field day here. These guys are shooting so fast. Austria looks to maybe be getting behind the French, or at least taking a huge flank on them. And the funny thing is, Austria still holds this LOC. And they took it. Just like that, they took it. This is probably where their last stand is going to be, with their reinforcing French army. Now, it is possible. It is very possible.
This building has fallen to the enemy.
The French make it some kind of vicious counterattack and destroy the coalition. The coalition are not super strong either. Both sides have taken pretty heavy losses. However, I do like the odds that the coalition has. They have very good odds here. They still have plenty of cavalry. And I think they should be able to outshoot the French here. Prussians? Nah. Facing. No, they're not facing. Well, even artillery from Bagration is set up, forcing back the French. You can see they're even charging in some grenadiers into LOC. Yeah, Russia isn't even getting close. They're not even giving France a chance. They have squarables up in front. They have probably more pushing around the flank. France is in a pickle. They can't do anything. They try to get close, they get shot. They try a bayonet charge, Russia just countercharges. You know, it's just like, man, what do? You need heavy cav and infantry and artillery in order to beat this 12-pointer, but the 12-pointer isn't just going in. Like, they're being very cautious about it. Doesn't look like the Swiss have held this LOC for now, which is going to be a pain in Russia's side, in Austria's side. Now they're going to start shelling it, which, you know, is a good strategy. Works quite well, I'm sure. The question is, if France wants to win, what do they have to do? That's what I'm thinking right now. What do they have to do? I think pushing and focusing down Austria is their biggest bet, by far. If they can destroy Austria and barely lose a man, that they can focus down Russia. However, I think Russia realizes the danger. They have to know the danger of their ally. I mean, their ally is in huge danger. You can see the French pushing out their cavalry, infantry. Austria does have a flank right up here, but Russia is starting to pressure. And you talk about putting a lot of pressure on this French army. This French army is weakening quite quickly, so they are trying their best to beat them before Austria gets beaten by the French. The one good thing about this is I think Austria is going to, even if they die, they probably will take down a lot of French with them.
Men of the teams
Maybe not. As I say that, I watched the Austrians just starting to break on this flank here. They're still across the air, though. Oh, I would send this up and tell them, hey, just charge this back line. Charge this French back line. Just do it. Oh, yep. We have a cav charge, a nice counter charge here by the Dragoons. Unfortunately, they don't have a general, but still, France trying to put a lot of pressure on Austria. They know it is game time. Come on, Max, send in the crosshair. Send him in. Ooh, they broke the one-pointer. They probably feel confident. Come on. Okay, Russia did go in. At the same time, France is also going in. Both sides still trying to kill the other. Unfortunately, they hit a square. Still, Russia is defeating this, and it's going to counter itself out. Plus, take a note that, ooh, cav in the back. Oh, that's a good Lancer unit, too. But the Prussians did break from France, but Austria is crumbling rather quickly to the French. But so did France. France just absolutely has tumbled headlong into a grave and has died. And then we have the flank with the Dragoons from Bagration.
We have killed their general, sir. Now they must break.
And I think it's going to be still a coalition victory. I thought for a second, if Russia hadn't been aggressive, if Russia had sat back and hadn't pushed France, and France had pushed up on Austria, I think we would have had a different outcome, maybe a different outcome. That's still obviously, you know, obviously France was hoping, and it was a good plan. It was a good plan. Unfortunately, it did backfire because Bagration came in to support, as well as Austria sending in their cavalry to stop that cross-area charge at the very beginning, and that didn't help either. And now you can start to see the French are just going to start breaking in mass against the Russians. And irony of this all, guys, it is a Russia 6 or Russia 5 map, so it makes sense that Russia would win in the end. Ooh, the artillery is not helping Bagration out.
Our men are running.
Slaughtered. Oh, that's a dirty flank. Could you imagine, though, being this French infantry and you're just watching your enemy just break all your allies? Like, what do you do? You know, I would run away. I would run away. I'm not gonna lie. I'd be one of these guys running away right now. You know, why die in a pointless battle? You're not gonna hold. But this brave unit, brave, standing, trying to stem the tide. Yeah, this is chaos everywhere now. This has turned into just everything is happening all at once. But that'll be the battle. Yeah, that's the battle. Here, let me just hit the fast forward button here, and I do have the results for this one. So let's look at I believe this is Bagration. Yeah, Bagration is the one who submitted it, which is Nate Devourer. You can see, man, 121 kills for Kazakis. You can see he brought basically almost all Cav Corps. So it seemed to work out pretty well. Let's pull up the results here. As you can see, we have the RC. Oh, RC clan was in this battle. The Fish Machine, or I don't know how to even say your name. I'm sorry about that, but looks like he got only 559 kills. Maybe he was Bellegarde. Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe it was Mac. But then we have Bring Back Militia with the 12-point Russia. Got 2602 for the kills. You have Albert with 1,004. You have Nate with 648. On the other side, Little Smurf as the Prussians with 569. You have Cocky Cossack with 560. You have the Salzburg with 1441. And Desay with 1044. So some good kills on both sides, actually. And that you know, the Russia did have to wade through a lot of French troops, so he probably wouldn't have had as many kills. Maybe he probably would have had a lot of kills, but, you know, it probably would have been a little closer to his allies in the kills. Not saying that running down troops is bad, but, yeah. Anyway, guys, that'll be the battle for me today. Thank you all so much for joining me. I hope you guys enjoyed. You guys have a great rest of your day. Stay safe, and I will catch you all in another video.